Alexa, tell me about Bangladeshi bloggers.
I know about two Bangladeshi bloggers and they are Avijit Roy and Kusum Sikdar.
Tell me about Avijit Roy.
Avijit Roy was a Bangladeshi-American engineer, online activist, writer, and blogger known for creating and administrating the Mukto Mona, an internet blogging community for Bangladeshi freethinkers, rationalists, skeptics, atheists, and humanists. Roy was an advocate of free expression in Bangladesh, coordinating international protests against government censorship and imprisonment of atheist bloggers.
Tell me more.
Here's more on Avijit Roy from Wikipedia. He was hacked to death by machete-wielding assailants in Dhaka, Bangladesh, on the 26th of February 2015. Islamic militant organization Ansarullah Bangla team claimed responsibility for the attack. Early life and education. He was the son of Ajoy Roy, a professor of physics at the University of Dhaka, who received the E. Kushi Padak Award. Avijit earned a bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering from BUET. He earned a master's and doctoral degree in biomedical engineering from National University of Singapore. In 2006, he moved to Atlanta, Georgia, and worked as a software engineer. Roy published 8 books in Bengali. He wrote on behalf of explicit atheism, homosexuality evolution, and astrophysics, and also he publicized these things in his own blog. Career, Mukto Mona. Roy was the founder of the Bangladeshi Mukto Mona website, which was one of the nominees of the Bobs Award in the Best of Online Activism category. Mukto Mona began as a Yahoo group in May 2001, but became a website in 2002. Would you like me to keep reading?
Yes.
Roy described his writing as taboo in Bangladesh. He had received death threats from fundamentalist bloggers for his articles and books. Recomari.com, a Bangladeshi e-commerce site, stopped selling Roy's books after its owner received death threats from Islamists, protests and advocacy. Our aim is to build a society which will not be bound by the dictates of arbitrary authority, comfortable superstition, stifling tradition, or suffocating orthodoxy, but would rather be based on reason, compassion, humanity, equality and science. A Bangladeshi group, blogger and online activist network, initiated the 2013 Shahbag protests that sought capital punishment for the Islamist leader and war criminal Abdul Qadir Molla, as well as the removal of Jamaat-e-Islami from politics. Islamist groups responded by organizing protests calling for the execution of atheist bloggers accused of insulting Islam and the introduction of a blasphemy law. Many atheist bloggers who supported the Shahbag protests came under attack, and Ahmed Rajib Haider was killed by Islamist groups on the 15th of February 2013. A month before the protest, blogger Asif Mohuddin was attacked outside his house by 4 youths influenced by Anwar al-Awlaki, and Sunio Rahman, known as Nastik Nobi, was stabbed on the 7th of March 2013. Asif Mohuddin, a winner of the Bobs Award for Online Activism, was on an Islamist hit list that also included the murdered sociology professor Shafiul Islam. Mohuddin's blog was shut down by the Bangladesh Telecommunication Regulatory Commission, and he was jailed for posting offensive comments about Islam and Muhammad. The secular government arrested several other bloggers and blocked about a dozen websites and blogs, as well as giving police protection to some bloggers. International organizations, including Human Rights Watch, Amnesty International, Reporters Without Borders and the Committee to Protect Journalists, condemn the imprisonment of bloggers and the climate of fear for journalists. Roy wrote that he was disgusted that the Bangladeshi media portrayed young bloggers as crooks in the public eye, and wrote to Western media outlets and the Center for Inquiry and the International Humanist and Ethical Union for support. Roy went on to coordinate international protests in Dhaka, New York City, Washington, D.C., London, Ottawa and other cities in support of the jailed bloggers. He was joined by writers, activists and prominent secularists and intellectuals around the world, including Salman Rushdie, Taslima Nasrin, Hemant Mehta, Maryam Namazi, P.Z. Myers, Anu Muhammad, Ajoy Roy Khan Chowdhury, Ramandi Majumdar and Mohammed Zafar Iqbal in publicly expressing their solidarity with the arrested bloggers. Murder. In 2015, Roy went to Dhaka with his wife Bonya during the Ekushi Book Fair. On the evening of the 26th of February, he and Bonya were returning home from the fair by bicycle rickshaw. At around 8:30 p.m., they were attacked near the Teacher-Student Center intersection of Dhaka University by unidentified assailants. 2 assailants stopped and dragged them from the rickshaw to the pavement, before striking them with machetes, according to witnesses. Roy was struck and stabbed with sharp weapons in the head. His wife was slashed on her shoulders, and the fingers of her left hand were severed. Both of them were rushed to Dhaka Medical College Hospital, where Roy was pronounced dead at around 10:30 p.m. Bonya survived. In an interview with BBC's NewsHour, she said that police stood nearby when they were attacked on the spot, but did not act. In a Twitter post on the day after his death, an Islamist group, calling itself Ansar Bangla 7, claimed responsibility for the killing. Ansar Bangla 7 is said to be the same organization as Ansarullah Bangla team. A case of murder was filed by Roy's father, without naming any suspects at Shahba Thana on the 27th of February 2015. According to police sources, they are investigating a local Islamist group that praised the killing. Avijit's body was placed at a Pariayo Bangla in front of the Faculty of Arts building at Dhaka University on the 1st of March 2015, where people from all walks of life, including his friends, relatives, well-wishers, teachers and students, gathered with flowers to pay their respect to the writer. As per Roy's wish, his body was handed over to Dhaka Medical College for medical research. On the 6th of March 2015, a 4-member team from the Federal Bureau of Investigation, along with members of the detective branch of Bangladesh Police, inspected the spot where Roy was killed. The FBI members collected evidence from the site and took footage to help in the investigation. On the 3rd of May 2015, the leader of Al-Qaeda in the Indian subcontinent claimed responsibility for the murder of Roy and the deaths of other blasphemers in Bangladesh in a report published by site intelligence group, Murder, Arrests. On the 2nd of March 2015, Rapid Action Battalion arrested Farabi Shafia Rahman, a radical Islamist. It was suspected by the police that Farabi had shared Roy's location, identity, family photographs, etc. with the killer. Farabi had threatened Roy several times through blogs and social media sites including Facebook. He said that Roy would be killed upon his arrival in Dhaka. Bangladesh's government decided to seek help from the Federal Bureau of Investigation to investigate the murder of Roy. The decision was taken following an offer by the United States. On the 18th of August 2015, 3 members of Ansarullah Bangla team, including a British citizen, named Tawhijur Rahman, who police described as the main planner of the attacks on Avijit Roy and Ananta Bijoy Das, had been arrested in connection with the 2 murders. In February 2021, 5 leaders and members of banned militant outfit Ansar al-Islam were sentenced to death and another to life in prison over the brutal murder of writer-blogger Avijit Roy. Subsection: Murder, Reactions. After the death of Roy, several students, teachers, bloggers and around the country gathered at Dhaka University, demanding quick arrest of the killers. The Mukto Mona website bore the message in Bengali, "We are grieving, but we shall overcome against a black background." Secretary-General of the United Nations spokesperson Stefan Dujarric condemned the killing and said on the attack of the blogger, "We spoke to our human rights colleagues, who obviously condemned the attack, and expressed the hope that the perpetrators will be quickly brought to justice through the due process of law." The head of Reporters Without Borders Asia Pacific stated, "We are shocked by this act of barbarity," and added it is unacceptable for police to spend so much time searching news outlets, arresting journalists, censoring news and investigating bloggers when the many attacks on bloggers are still unpunished. The Asia Program coordinator of the Committee to Protect Journalists stated this attack is emblematic of the culture of impunity that pervades Bangladesh, where the lack of accountability in previous attacks on the press continues to spurn a deadly cycle of violence. Humanist groups expressed horror at the loss of a colleague. The Center for Inquiry's chief UN representative stated Avijit was brilliant, yes, and a devoted advocate of free expression and secularism, but also just a very good person. Andrew Copson of the British Humanist Association, which awarded Roy and other bloggers the Free Expression Award in 2014, said with Avijit's death, Bangladesh has lost not just a son, but a forceful proponent of human rights and equality for all its people. The British High Commissioner Robert Gibson expressed his concern in a tweet saying, "Shocked by the savage murder of Avijit Roy, as I am by all the violence that has taken place in Bangladesh in recent months. Would you like..." In December 2021, the United States Department of State announced a $5 million bounty for information leading to the perpetrators of the terrorist attack on Roy and Ahmed. In 2018, the Freedom from Religion Foundation introduced the annual Avijit Roy Courage Award, which is given to individuals working toward the spread of rational and logical discourse, and recognize creative and heroic individuals who have persisted, despite hurdles in their work to promote science, logic and humane ideas.